Ramon, first of all, massive game this evening. Two of the favourites for the Champions League. Are you confident Real Madrid can get revenge for what happened last year?
Apparently, there is a spirit of revenge, sportingly speaking. Last year was too hard, the result in Manchester. I think it was the first time. I don't remember, maybe many years ago, a result like that for Real Madrid. We are not used to it. And maybe we can change the fate tonight, but it won't be sorted out until we go to Manchester, because doesn't matter how many goals you score, that again the match in Manchester will be difficult.
Do they have to win tonight though to take a lead into that second leg, do you think?
Well, it will be important to score more goals than Manchester, and going to Manchester with some difference that can be. I don't think can be enough. Any result you get here is Manchester City is a very, very difficult team. Very good players. You can name too many: Holland, Silva, De Bruyne, Grealish. All of them can Foden. They can decide the match. I saw the last one against the Crystal Palace in London. And I think they are really strong and difficult to beat. It's true that we are leading La Liga. We have lost only one match. We have now a good team, although we don't have Alaba, Courtois, the goalkeeper, maybe the best goalkeeper in the world, and Militao. But Tchouaméni is doing it well, and also Nacho or Rudiger. Very difficult team, difficult to predict the result, but for sure very exciting, very thrilling for any of the spectators who attend the stadium or the ones who will be watching it on TV. Millions, by the way.
One player you didn't mention there who's getting a lot of attention in England going into this game is Jude Bellingham, of course. What assessment would you make of the way that he's settled into life as a Real Madrid player?
Amazing what he's done here, above expectations, no doubt. We are not missing Benzema, which was the one who scored the goals last seasons. I think he's the best scorer now of Real Madrid, and he's playing very well, helping the team, and he's been accepted very well for the teammates, for the fans. I think he has a long way ahead. He's very young, I think 19 or 20 years old. So amazing the way he's playing here.
How would you compare the impact that he's had to David Beckham, who of course you signed when you were Real Madrid president?
I think David Beckham was so special. He's one of the players, the most professional players I've met in my life in any sense. As a person, as a player, everything was fantastic. What they did, he didn't complain ever. Although he had a quarrel with Capello, but finally he came to the ground because the players wanted to have him on the ground, and he was one of the main actors to win that title, a very important title. But of course, Bellingham is starting now in an amazing way, so he has a lot to show yet.
Beckham only won one La Liga title. It looks like Bellingham will match that in his first season. So would you?
Well, that's true. But Beckham needed four seasons to win the title. It was that time of the Galacticos, which was amazing and incredible for the reputation, for the image of the club. But we didn't win any title in 3 years. It was the first time in our history we didn't win any title. Beckham, Zidane, Figo, Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Raúl, Casillas, Sergio Ramos. We thought it was enough, the name. But it's a good lesson for life, that there's nothing you can get without effort, without hard work, training. So as I think it was Jordan who said, that work always beat talent when talent doesn't work, something like that. It's true. I think that's a lesson we learned that time. That's why we try to change that idea of not that only the shirt and the name is not enough to win. And it's true that Beckham needed 4 years, but doesn't matter. He was amazing. He was really a good signing for Real Madrid, and all the fans have him in their hearts.
Some incredible names that you've just listed off there. There is another megastar who is coming to Madrid at the end of the season in Kylian Mbappe.
Let's hope so. Well, I don't have a personal knowledge of that. I know what I'm reading. Those negotiations are always difficult. I'm sure they are being very, very private and restricted, and the player must decide. I think, as always happens with the big players, they are the ones who decide where to go. I remember with Cristiano, I had that not a quarrel, but discussions with David Gill and Ferguson. They didn't want him to let, but of course, something understandable. But I told them, look, if the player wants to leave, the only point would be to talk about money. And I suppose it's what they are doing now with Mbappe. But it's a lot of money at stake. So you never know. But of course, I wish he will come here, and he will, if he joins our team, will be, in theory, you couldn't say unbeatable, because we said the same with the Galacticos. And I just remind you what happened.
Just finally, a quick word on Carlo Ancelotti, the manager. His 200th Champions League game. That's a record for a manager in this competition. How much of an achievement is that? A
lot. I think what he's done is really, really important with Real Madrid. To coach this team is so difficult. Few people know, because if they don't know the history, can't know that only one coach has been more than 3 years on that bench. Carlo Ancelotti is going to be more than 3 years, fortunately. It's difficult, a dressing room full of stars, where you need to work with them in a proper way. All of them are all of them want to play, and only 11 can play in the starting lineup, and that's a problem. He has managed that in a fantastic way, and that's why we are getting titles. Fans are happy with them. Players are too, which is important. And I'm really happy that he's staying with us for at least 2 more seasons.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.